Well, it's been a couple weeks and it's Minnesota, so we got more snow. This is great. It's a balmy 33 degrees with a nice breeze today, so figured why not work outside. That's the best decision. Today the goal is to clean, kind of get some wiring figured out because there's a lot of stuff from the last owner, and then we're going to get the heater hoses off because we're not going to be running a heater. Well, maybe we'll run a heater, but it won't go through the stock location. But I'd like to get the firewall cleaned off and cleaned up, and maybe spray paint it black in the spring, you know, when it's not hurt your face cold out. And then if we get time, or if we have time, or if I feel like being cold longer, I'm going to cut off the spring perches and the cross member, and maybe get rid of all the rivets in the frame, and we'll get rid of the stock brake mounting location. We'll just unbolt that. We also need to get the steering column out because we're not going to use the stock one. We're going to go with something a little shorter and modern with tilt, so there's room for the tummy. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I guess we'll start freezing. You'll notice it's a few hours later now because I have kids and I'm not allowed to do work, you know, all at the same time. But whatever, we dug out our grinder that I forgot to bring in before it rained last week. If you haven't been lucky enough to work in construction, this is how you keep your cords from coming undone from your tools. So, all right, I guess I'm gonna start cutting stuff. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a plan. We're just gonna start cutting stuff. Alright, so we got one part cut off, and now you can see we got 1, 2, 3 rivets to cut off. I believe that's it, it's 3. Anyway, so we gotta cut those off, grind them flush, and then we can pound them through with a punch. And this is just welded on the bump stop, so we'll take that off, and then that's a bolt on this side, but it's a rivet on that side. So we'll keep working through. I think we're just going to cut out the bulk of it and then come back for the rivets.
Hey guys, this is Nick with Blacktop Cruisers. Thanks for checking back in. It's been a few weeks since I was actually able to work on the truck because I live in Minnesota and it's been cold and snowy. And yeah, I don't have a garage, so we're just doing everything outside. We're working on pulling the front clip, the front suspension, cross member, spring buckets and all that off. So stay tuned, follow along. So hindsight's 2020. I didn't know it, but there's a beam type thing that runs on this front edge. Because I was just using the cutoff saw, and then I just figured out I needed to use a Sawzall to get through that tube. Well, I didn't have blades long enough, so I went down to Hobo Freight, got these 9-inch blades. Hopefully they'll be long enough. So we'll see what happens. That right there is the reason you're not going to use a cutoff wheel very effectively. Even a plasma torch, you'd have fun. But boy, that thing is full of mud in the middle there. Holy cow. Well, on to the next side and blade number 3 from Hobo Freight. Alright, so we got that side more or less done. It just needs some cleanup. Now we're going to take off the rest of the spring bucket, which looks like we're going to have to chop this off. I got a bolt under here. That's got to get cut off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets that need to get cut off. And then hopefully we'll be able to get it out, and then we also got to get that rivet out too. So I guess let's see what happens. Holy Moses. All right. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew. There we go. 7 total rivets to clear one side. That side looks worse. All right, guys, calling it a day. I didn't record doing the driver's side, but it's pretty much the same. It's just a giant pain in the ass, so I'll show you. So on the driver's side, you have the doubler plate for the power steering box or the steering box. Best way to do it, cut the welds on the top and the bottom, and then you got to kind of cut through that part. So I still got some cleaning up to do, but we are at a point, where we can slip the Vic front end under here and start mocking up where to drill holes to mount it and to mount everything else. So I have to figure out how to get the front end under here. I can't ring it around the front because I got the engine there, and that's kind of all sorts of frozen in. And the old front end is kind of in the way. So this should be interesting. Yeah, we'll go with interesting. But I think first I got to clean up all my tools. I don't think I'm gonna need any tools today. Just, I don't know, stupid strength maybe. I have no idea how this is gonna work. All right, boys and girls, we've made some progress. It's under there. It's obviously not in position or bolted in or anything. It's just under there. You know, sometimes you got to get even the smallest amount of progress. You got to make it. So there it is. I got to call it a day. Got family things to do. So like, subscribe, comment, all that good jazz. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.